I didn't expect the call. I didn't expect her voice either. But when I heard it, I couldn't ignore it. It was Sarah's mother's lawyer. The voice was tight, clipped, businesslike. "Mr. Hartley, the reading of your late mother-in-law's will take place tomorrow at noon. Please make arrangements to attend." I hung up the phone. There was no need to say anything more. I knew. I could feel it. The silence was suffocating, the air heavy. Something had changed. A subtle shift, a quiet, invisible tremor that had been creeping up on me for months. I couldn't place it, but I could sense it. A coldness, a whisper in the shadows, lurking just behind my wife's eyes. The way she looked at me sometimes, like I was the one who wasn't playing my part in this marriage. I never asked her, never demanded answers. But tonight, when I left the house, when I stood there in the dark parking lot of her mother's old house, it felt like the walls were about to close in. And they were. I walked into the lawyer's office the next morning, my gaze drifting over the room. Sarah wasn't here yet, neither was her mother. The lawyer stood behind the desk, a middle-aged man with sharp glasses, flipping through a few papers. And then, there they were, Sarah sitting next to him. But it wasn't just her, the child, a small boy, no more than 5. And, standing beside him, her lover. His presence hit me like a punch to the gut. I didn't say a word. I just stood there, the silence stretching. He smiled. It was the kind of smile that said everything without saying a thing. I felt my pulse quicken. The boy, too innocent to understand, looked at me with wide, confused eyes. A mistake? Was this some kind of sick joke? No, no, this was real. My wife, her lover, their son. I felt the betrayal like a blade twisting in my chest, but I didn't show it. I didn't react. Because I was already 3 steps ahead. I wasn't here for answers. I already knew. I was here to take back control. But I didn't say anything. I sat. I waited. And then the lawyer started speaking. Over the next week, I did nothing. No confrontation, no accusations. Instead, I watched. I kept to myself, quiet, detached. I examined the phone records, the text messages, the emails. The evidence was there, waiting for me to see it. The late-night calls, the whispered conversations, the subtle smiles that Sarah and her lover exchanged when they thought I wasn't looking. I could hear her laughter in the other room at night, but now it didn't sound the same. It wasn't the kind of laughter I remembered. I wasn't sure how long it had been going on. I didn't care, but I knew. The question wasn't about how long, it was about the child. And why? I sat in the darkness of my study one night, my fingers tapping the edge of my desk. A DNA test. Simple, final. It arrived a day later. The truth was confirmed in cold, scientific language. He wasn't mine. Not that I hadn't known it. I had known. I just needed the proof. The child was the product of her affair. The child of the man I saw sitting beside her in that lawyer's office. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't angry, not yet. I was calculating. The next day, I handed her the report. I got the results. She looked up at me, her face a mask of feigned innocence. What results? I placed the paper in front of her. Her hand trembled as she picked it up, her eyes scanning the words. Her face went pale. For a long moment, there was silence. And then, the truth began to sink in. She didn't need to say it. I saw it in her eyes. The shock, the guilt, but not the remorse. Just fear. She dropped the paper, and I watched her hand shake. "Why?" I asked. I didn't mean for it to happen." "You didn't mean for it to happen?" My voice was eerily calm. But the truth was, I was waiting for this moment. I'd known for months, if not longer. I'd been waiting for her to make a mistake, waiting for her to slip up. And she did. I knew everything. I knew she was with him, and I knew the boy wasn't mine. But I didn't care to show her how much I knew. Not yet. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I didn't break anything. I simply stood up. I don't need your explanations. They don't matter anymore. I turned toward the door. She called out to me, "I'm sorry." I didn't turn around. "I don't care." And I left. I didn't feel the need to confront him. I didn't need to. She was already destroyed. I had her in my grasp, but I didn't need to hurt her more. I'd already won. There was no more power to take from her. The only thing left to do was to walk away. I haven't seen her since that day, and I never will again. I don't need closure. I don't need anything from her. What I need is to walk away. I've regained control. I've taken back what was mine, and now I can leave it all behind, forever.